Today we're talking with Garry Holland, who is the Republican candidate for Senate in the 22nd District. Thank you for meeting today, Garry.
Thank you for having me, Kelly.
Let's start by allowing people to get to know you. Running for office is a lot of work. What's motivating you to run?
I've been involved in a lot of political work, a lot of work with the community, a lot of work in my local schools. I'm interested in taking that to another step, becoming involved in state government. 33 years, I worked for 33 years with the state. I know a lot of things that we could do to improve things and to make things better in our state government.
Can you share a little bit about your family and what role they play in your life along with your faith?
Well, I love my family. They are probably the second most important thing in my life besides my relationship with Jesus Christ. My family, I have 4 children, wonderful children. They've been a great joy in my life. My wife, who passed away a couple of years ago, and I adopted all 4 of our children. You can tell by the caricature behind me. That's one of my children. They are a wonderful blessing and a delight. Faith is important to me because it gives me a grounded approach to how I live. It offers me hope always, even in difficult times.
Can you share a little bit about your work experience and how that would fit into working in the Senate?
Yeah, I worked for the state for 33 years in supportive roles to the citizens of the state of Washington. It was a good career. I loved the job. I think that it gives me a unique perspective on where we can go, especially now we're having so many issues, so much trouble with our state budget and so many other things going on. My volunteer service also has been, involved with the schools, and how do we make things better is what my thought process is.
2 hot topics for any candidate in any elected position are abortion and gun rights. Can you share your stand on both of those issues?
Yes, I'm not in favor of abortion. I think because it's legal, our response should be to encourage women mothers who do not want their babies to give them up for adoption, and that should be the response we give. And part of that comes from my own personal experience. And my wife and I, couldn't have children, so we adopted 4 children, and it's been a wonderful thing. And there are lots of wonderful parents out there who would be happy to adopt any baby that's available. The other issue was the Second Amendment, and I am a supporter of the Second Amendment. I believe that the only thing I can see that I would agree to is background checks on weapons purchases, so that those people who shouldn't have guns don't get guns. But other than that, you should be free to have a gun, own a gun, use it responsibly, lock it up when you're done. Those are all things you choose to do as a free citizen.
COVID-19's had a really big impact on our state, and a group of state representatives recently filed suit against the governor in federal court, alleging that his stay-home orders were unconstitutional. Can you share your thoughts on that lawsuit, the governor's restrictions, and about all the people that just want to return to work?
Right. Remember when this all started, the governor said we'd be locked down for 2 weeks so that we wouldn't overwhelm the hospital system. We were going to flatten the curve. Well, in our state, we have 13,400 hospital beds. If we put 30% of those aside for birthing centers and emergencies and ICUs and those type of places, we have about 9,400 beds available for COVID patients. I think the highest number we had in the hospital with the flu was 645 people in the hospital, another about 200 in ICU. So we never even got to 1,000 beds being used. The pandemic is over, but the governor's actions are carrying on, and now making new rules and regulations to keep people in home or in masks, or none of it seems logical or scientific.
The impact to the state's revenue is estimated at $7 billion of loss. As a state senator, what would you do to help the state recover?
Well, I think right now we need to start taking action now. I mean, as a state senator, I won't even come into office until in January. So in January, if he waits that long, the state or the governor wait that long, the budget deficit will grow and grow and grow. So the first thing we have to do is go in and cut back on expenditures. There's no way to increase revenue at this point. Too many people are unemployed. The revenue stream is still in trouble. So what we have to do is go in and we might have to start cutting, start with elected officials, the legislature, cut their pay, start cutting the pay, and put a hiring freeze in that no jobs are being filled at all, and start with that process. Then as we go along, it's going to get harder and harder because there's just no other revenue source available unless we think that the federal government's going to kick in money, which I don't think is going to happen. So we're going to face some tough issues about what do we support, what do we pay for, and what do we cut at that point. And so there's lots of discussions about where that cutting is going to take place. My guess is it's going to be a 20-25% budget cut by the time we get to actually doing something about it. This governor is waiting too long. My opponent is part of the problem in this process.
As a wrap up, could you share how voters could help support you to win the 22nd district?
Yeah, if they want, I would be great. It would be great to have them support me. If you want to request, be a friend on Facebook with me, just Garry Holland, and I live in Olympia, of course. Or you can email me at HollandGarry, which is HOLLANDGARRY @Comcast.net, and we'll hook up. If you want to text me, just text me at 360-489-2895, and that's my cell phone, and I'll get right back to you.
Thank you so much, Garry.
Thanks.